Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Zaki, and today in this English assignment, I want to talk about my favorite country, and probably I won't talk about my favorite country because I don't really have a favorite country. So I'm just gonna talk about Indonesia, my home country. Yeah. So Indonesia, officially the Republic Indonesia, is a country in Southeast Asia and Oceania between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. It consists of more than 17,000 islands, including Sumatra, Java, Sulawesi, and parts of Borneo or Kalimantan and New Guinea, Papua. Indonesia is the world's largest country in the and the largest island country and the 14th largest country by land area at 1,904,569 square kilometers. With more than 270 million people, Indonesia is the world's fourth most populous country and the most populous Muslim majority country. Java, the world's most populous island, is home to more than half of the country's population. The sovereign state is a presidential constitutional republic with an elected legislature. It has 34 provinces, of which 5 have special status. The country's capital, Jakarta, is the second most populous urban area in the world. The country shares land borders with Papua New Guinea, East Timor, and the eastern part of Malaysia. Other neighboring countries include Singapore, Vietnam, the Philippines, Australia, Palau, and India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Despite its large population and densely populated regions, Indonesia has vast areas of wilderness that support one of the world's highest level of biodiversity. The Indonesian archipelago has been valuable region for trade since at least the 7th century, when Sriwijaya and later Majapahit traded with entities from mainland China and the Indian subcontinent. Local rulers gradually absorbed foreign influences from the early centuries, and Hindu and Buddhist kingdoms flourished. Sunni traders and Sufi scholars brought Islam, while Europeans introduced Christianity through colonization. Although sometimes interrupted by the Portuguese, French, and British, Dutch were the foremost colonial power for much of their 30-50-year presence in the archipelago. The concept of Indonesia as a nation-state emerged in the early 20th century, culminating later in the proclamation of Indonesian independence in 1945. However, it was not until 1949 that the Dutch recognized Indonesia's sovereignty following an armed and diplomatic conflict between the two. Indonesia consists of hundreds of distinct native ethnic and linguistic groups, with the largest one being the Javanese. A shared identity has developed with the motto Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity, literally many yet one, defined by a national language, ethnic diversity, religious pluralism within a Muslim majority population, and a history of colonialism and rebellion against it. The economy of Indonesia is the world's 15th largest by nominal GDP and 7th by GDP at PPP. Indonesia is the only regional power in Southeast Asia and is considered a middle power in global affairs. The country is a member of several multilateral organizations, including the United Nations, World Trade Organization, G20, and a founding member of Non-Aligned Movement Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, ASEAN, East Asia Summit, and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Okay, next is etymology. The name Indonesia derives from Greek words of Indos and Nessos, meaning Indian islands. The name dates to the 18th century, far predating the formation of independent Indonesia in 1850. George Windsor Earl, an English ethnologist, proposed the terms Indonesians and his preference Melanesians for the inhabitants of the Indian archipelago or Malay archipelago. In the same publication, one of his students, James Richardson Logan, used Indonesia as a synonym for Indian archipelago. However, Dutch academics writing in East Indies publications were reluctant to use Indonesia. They preferred Malay Archipelago or Dutch Malay Archipel, the Netherlands East Indies, Netherlands Oost-Indie, popularly Indie the East, the Oost, and Insulinde. After 1900, Indonesia became more common in the academic circle around outside the Netherlands, and native nationalist groups adopted it for political expression. Adolf Bastian of the University of Berlin popularized the name through his book Indonesian Oder des Inseln des Malaysian Archipels, 1884 until 1894. The first native scholar to use the name was Ki Hajar Dewantara, when in 1913 he established a press bureau in the Netherlands. Okay, next, the geography. Indonesia lies between latitudes 11 degree S and 6 degree N, and longitudes 95 degree E and 141 degree E. It is the world's largest archipelagic country, extending 5,120 kilometers from east to west and 1,760 kilometers from north to south. The country's coordinating Ministry for Maritime and Investment Affairs says Indonesia has 17,504 islands with 1,656 registered at the UN. Sumatra, Borneo shared with Brunei and Malaysia. Sulawesi and New Guinea shared with Papua New Guinea. Indonesia shares land borders with Malaysia on Borneo and Sebatik, Papua New Guinea on the island of New Guinea, and East Timor on the island of Timor, and maritime borders with Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Palau, and Australia. At 4,884 meters, Puncak Jaya is Indonesia's highest peak, and Lake Toba in Sumatra is the largest lake, with an area of 1,145 square kilometer. Indonesia's largest rivers are in Kalimantan and New Guinea and include Kapuas, Barito, Mambramo, Sepik, and Mahakam. They serve as communication and transport links between the islands and river settlements. Climate. Indonesia lies along the equator and its climate tends to be relatively even year-round. Indonesia has two seasons, a wet season and dry season, with no extremes of summer or winter. For most of Indonesia, the dry season falls between May and October, with the wet season between November and April. Indonesia's climate is almost entirely tropical, dominated by the tropical rainforest climate found in every large island of Indonesia. More cooling climate types do exist in mountainous regions that are 1,300 to 1,500 meters above sea level. The oceanic climate prevails in highland areas adjacent to highland climate is prevalent with a more pronounced dry season. Some regions such as Kalimantan and Sumatra experience only slight differences in rainfall and temperature between the seasons, whereas others such as Nusa Tenggara experience far more pronounced differences and droughts in the dry season and floods in the wet. Rainfall and temperatures between the seasons, whereas others such as Nusa Tenggara and floods in the wet. Rainfall varies across regions, with more in western Sumatra, Java, and the interiors of Kalimantan and Papua, and less in areas closer to Australia, such as Nusa Tenggara, which tend to be dry. The almost uniformly warm waters that constitute 81% of Indonesia's area ensure that land's temperature remain relatively constant. Humidity is quite high at between 70 and 19%. Winds are moderate and generally predictable, with monsoons usually blowing in from the south and east in June through October, and from the northwest in November through March. Typhoons and large-scale storms pose little hazard to mariners. Significant dangers come from swift currents in channels such as the Lombok and Sape Straits. Okay, now let's talk about the biodiversity. Yeah, the biodiversity. Indonesia's size, tropical climate, and archipelagic geography support one of the world's highest levels of biodiversity and is among the 70 mega diverse countries identified by the Conservation International. Its flora and fauna is a mixture of Asian and Australasian species. The Sunda Shelf Islands, Sumatra, Java, Borneo, and Bali were once linked to mainland Asia and have a wealth of Asian fauna. Large species such as the Sumatran tiger, rhinoceros, orangutan, Asian elephant, and leopard were once abundant as far east as Bali. But numbers and distribution have dwindled drastically, having been long separated from continental landmasses. Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara, and Maluku have developed their unique flora and fauna. Papua was part of the Australian landmass and is home to a unique fauna and flora closely related to that of Australia, including over 600 bird species. Forests cover approximately 17% of the country. However, the forests of the smaller and more densely populated Java have largely been removed from human habitation and agriculture. Indonesia is the second only to Australia in terms of total endemic species, with 36 of its 1,531 species of bird and 39% of its 511 species of mammal being endemic. Tropical seas surround Indonesia's 18,000 kilometers of coastline. The country has a range of sea and coastal ecosystems, including beaches, dunes, estuaries, mangroves, coral reefs, seagrass beds, coastal mudflats, tidal flats, algal beds, and small island ecosystems. Indonesia is one of the coral triangle countries with the world's most enormous diversity of coral reef fish, with more than 1,650 species in eastern Indonesia only. British naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace described a dividing line or Wallace line between the distribution of Indonesia's Asian and Australasian species. It runs roughly north-south along the edge of the Sunda Shelf between Kalimantan and Sulawesi, and along the deep Lombok Strait between Lombok and Bali. Flora and fauna on the west of the line are generally Asian, while east from Lombok they are increasingly Australian until the tipping point at the Weber Line. In his 1869 book The Balai Archipelago, Wallace described numerous species unique to the area. The region of islands between his line and New Guinea is now termed Wallacea. Indonesia's large and growing population and rapid industrialization present serious environmental issues. They are often given a lower priority due to high poverty levels and weak under-resourced governance. Problems include the destruction of peatlands, large-scale illegal deforestation, causing extensive haze across parts of Southeast Asia, overexploitation of marine resources, air pollution, garbage management, and reliable water and wastewater services. These issues contribute to Indonesia's low ranking, number 116 out of 180 countries in the 2020 Environmental Performance Index. The report also indicates that Indonesia's performance is generally below average in both regional and global contexts. Expansions of the palm oil industry requiring significant changes to natural ecosystems is the primary factor behind much of Indonesia's deforestation. While it can generate wealth for local communities, it may degrade ecosystems and cause social problems. This situation makes Indonesia the world's largest forest-based emitter of greenhouse gases. It also threatens the survival of indigenous and endemic species. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN identified 140 species of mammals as threatened and 15 as critically endangered, including the Bali myna, Sumatran orangutan, and Javan rhinoceros. Several studies consider Indonesia to be at severe risk from the projected effects of climate changes. These include unreduced emissions resulting in an average temperature rise of around 1 degree Celsius by mid-century, raising the frequency of drought and food shortages with an impact of precipitation and the patterns of wet and dry season, and thus in Indonesia's agriculture system, as well as numerous diseases and wildfires. Rising sea levels will also threaten the majority of Indonesia's population, who lives in low-lying coastal areas. Impoverished communities would likely be affected the most by climate changes. So yeah, that's all my explanation about Indonesia. Also, yeah, we need to take care more about Indonesia, like Kalimantan's forests, for example. They are getting burned, and yes, global warming stuff, and yeah, the environment is quite dirty with garbage management and yeah, pollution, air pollution, and yeah, that's all from me. I hope this a speech, or rather, I don't know, probably a small talk, be useful. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.